Stop it!
You killed your child, so kill me!
I didn't mean to kill Lucy! I have no problem killing you!
Be my guest, but only your own death brings Lucy back.
Fine!
When I went to the callback, I don't remember if I was rooting for both Evie and Rebecca or not. I don't remember.
Well, because originally it wasn't Rebecca. When I got the original Evie side,
yes,
the therapist was a man.
Yes, that's
so
true.
There was no
Rebecca.
If she's not there, instant stop. And just let Allie come in. That's okay.
That's
fine. That's all.
The animal that I was using is very still, and I saw my character as essentially hunting.
Let's go. I'm not playing games now. You want to dance with me? Then show me something. Show me your worth dancing with. Show me your worth owning.
This is really meaty stuff. Okay, I gotta wrap my brain around this. And it was funny. I just wanted everything to be perfect.
I read the script and I just thought, this character has so many levels. There's so many different masks that he or she wears.
You remember how I told you the year before Robert had left the cake on top of his car? So he goes one way, the cake goes the other, and splat. Well, this time I wasn't taking any chances.
Lucy, I feel, is an innocent, sweet little girl, but along her way she has some secrets, I guess.
Mom!
Lucy?
Mom, what are you doing here?
But also the turning point of seeing Snoopy's pin on Chloe is, I think, for Evie and for the audience, a complete reality shift.
And I love playing characters that are completely different than from who I am, because it just makes it more fun to play and put my own little spin on it. So
I'm not evil, but you know, everybody has a darker side, and so there was a little bit of that I used. A little bit.
Clearly, I offer Timothy nothing.
No argument here. Your actions over the last year support that.
Right.
Right. So you are the failure your mother was. What you have feared most, you have fully realized.
Apparently.
Nothing to be ashamed about. Apple usually doesn't fall far from the tree.
The sides for that first round of auditions were the entire first scene from the film, Evie's big sort of recollection monologue. And I remember reading it and first off thinking, holy crap, these are really long sides.
Until you speak the words, you'll never get past where you are.
Where am I?
Trapped in a moment. You are in complete denial that the event ever took place.
I'm not in denial that it happened.
Then tell me about it, Ellen.
Evie! After 1 year together, would you please call me Evie? By the time I was done deciding which take I was going to send to Steve, I was like, I want this role so bad. And then Steve called me back, and I actually went in and read it, and I thought it went really well. I thought Steve and Meghan, the producer, and I really gelled. And oddly enough, Allie and I, Allie, who plays Rebecca, met at those callbacks.
Do you not remember how you got here?
I don't need to remember. I drove here.
Show me your car keys. I think he had said something about the dynamic between two women versus the dynamic between a man and a woman, which I thought worked, in fact, because I had seen, I guess, a few scenes or sides from the first script when I was reading for Evie, and when I saw the second one, I really liked the dynamic between the two characters.
No, Evie, I'm not going to let you retreat again.
Retreat? What are you...
Retreat into your mind. This is the closest you've ever come to speaking out loud what happened. I'm not going to let you turn from that now.
It intrigued me because this is the part, one of the things that I just loved about this role was the different masks that she wears and you're never sure where she's coming from. I made choices as an actor. I know where I'm coming from when I do it. But the thing that I like is that because of the way the script is written, you're still not really sure.
But I liked my Snoopy pin. Grandma gave it to me for Christmas.
That's right. She did.
I missed you, Mom.
I missed you too.
Originally, I had sent in a video audition tape to Steve, our director, and I had gotten a call back. And I came back for the callback, and I had met Allie and Diana, which are the two leads in the film. And I did the sides with Diana, and they had told me I got the part right.
I think the thing that most drew me to Evie in the beginning, but I think it's true of her throughout the film, is how real and complete she is as a person in this short span of time. I feel like a lot of movies, you talk about a character arc, and you get to know a certain amount about a character, and then they learn something, and then what you see of them is just this arc. And I feel like the way that this movie is designed and the way that Evie specifically is written, she is a complete person. Yes, she has an arc, and yes, she learns something, and there is what I love about a film. You have a beginning and a middle and an end, and to actually get to really be a complete person within a 90-minute film is, I think, actually not all that common.
Mom, you're not supposed to be here.
You shouldn't be here.
Here is just where we are, nothing more. And you're really not supposed to be here. I think Lucy is Lucy, but she is something else as well, because I feel like there's two parts to Lucy. The first part that you see in the car in the film is not the same Lucy that you see when she's outside. I don't think it is the same person physically, it is me, but I don't think that it's the same person inside.
I want you to stop lying to yourself about that day.
No. I am the one, the only one, who talks about what really happened.
Is that so?
Yeah, that's so.
Then say it.
I don't have to say it for it to be true.
Yes, you do have to say it for it to be true. For a year, it's been the one thing you haven't been able to do. Everything else is no problem. Lucy's birthday parties, each one of them in detail. Growing up with a mother you had nothing in common with.
Well, she starts out as a psychologist and turns into the devil. There's a third character at the end. It is up to the audience to interpret what that character is. It can either be God, an angel, or the devil still playing with Evie.
I maintain that it's all in Evie's head. I mean, other than actually driving the car, getting into it, or rather avoiding the accident, everything else is in Evie's head.
I think that's interesting.
Allie and I didn't get to read together, but I think, I don't know, maybe you just sensed that the two of us standing next to each other would be a good match. I don't know. Okay, I have no idea what you're talking about, so I think we're done for today.
I can tell you how to get Lucy back, but you must ask.
Well, it depends on what mood I'm in. Sometimes I'm a bit reserved, sometimes I'm not. But I know that Steve, when he was casting, liked that Diana had chosen to move. She was moving around a lot. She was very physical, and I chose to stay very still. And there's that contrast. You see it in the film.
Then why don't you have a real office? Why, I see patients in your home. Chloe is an interesting character, I think, because she's this super sweet appearing girl, but at the same time, for the majority of the piece, we think that she's this demon's assistant. And it made it very interesting for the end when Evie's decided that she does need to kill her, that it is this sort of, what is Chloe? Is she a real person? Is she a demon? Is she being tricked? Where are we? What was great when we shot it, we did one big long take of it, and Steve really let me take my time in noticing it and coming to be aware of it kind of in real time. Are you okay, sweetheart?
Yeah, I'm fine. Why?
No reason. Tina was just such a find for Lucy. She came in and was just this delightful energy, and we had just sort of this instant rapport, and you can't fake a rapport like that, especially with a child actor, and it was just kind of like, yeah, that's it, no questions.
I love Diana. She is probably the biggest jokester of the film, and it was really great working with her and Allie. They're both such kind people, and I didn't really get to work with Allie as much as I did with Diana, but on set, she really got into character, and I feel like it was a really mother-daughter connection. I do think, I'm glad the script works that way. There's two different interpretations of it. But I think it's really happening.
Of course you would.
I know. Well, here's the thing also, is coming from my character's point of view, it's a lot more interesting if I make the choice that it's really happening. Otherwise, then I'm a part of your dream. I guess I could have made that choice, but I prefer that it's immediate and real.
Yeah.
I just liked it better.
Lucy, listen. I can't go home with you. Yet. Not yet.
Why not?
I can't right now.
We had a long rehearsal process, and I was really thankful for it because there was a lot of work to do with my character. I prepared for this character very differently than I've prepared for anything else.
No, I have no right to ask her.
I know. But you have to do it anyway.
Why?
Because it was your fault. It's the two of us, for the most part, in the entire film. So developing the relationship between our characters, making choices ahead of time, it was really, really helpful.
I think Steve trusted us enough as a pair to really take it much farther than we could have otherwise. I want Lucy here, right now.
You got that pointed the wrong way,
No, I don't think I do. In fact, I'm sure I've got it pointed in the right direction.
Then go for it! Pull the trigger! Come on, I'm not playing games now. You want to dance with me? Then show me something. Show me you're worth owning.
But then how did you decide when you were the devil and when you were God?
That was actually in rehearsal. I actually remember I called Steve after our first rehearsal, and I was like, it seems like sometimes Rebecca is not really the devil. There are times where it seems like she's God. And Steve was like, okay. Run with it if you want. And then I came back the next rehearsal and I was like, so I was completely wrong. I don't know what I was thinking. She's just, right now, she's just the devil. She's just the devil until the end.
Which is why you're doing what you're doing. What you have always done from the beginning of humanity. Fucking with God's children. I'm a very sarcastic person. I do a lot of comedy, which I don't think would know from watching this film, but I think in hearing me sort of read it, Stephen added in these other moments of sarcasm and lightheartedness. What happened to the gun?
No. Gun is far too easy. It can be done from a distance, so impersonal. There's no immediate gratification.
Recognizing that in a film that with this heavy of a subject matter, it actually adds color, I think, to have some of these easier going comedic kind of moments.
We're not all fire and brimstone, Well, yes, actually we are.
we're not antagonizing each other.
We're friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was kind of fun that we got to like room together because I was like, we've rehearsed so much and we're friends, and now we get to, it's like sleepaway camp. But
it was kind of like just getting to play with each other.
Yeah.
It was also very nice after a long sort of stretch of shooting this very heavy material to eat outside and be like, look, there's a hummingbird. Or, oh, look, there's a deer. So that kind of very relaxing, peaceful environment of the surrounding nature of Prattsville.
In fact, Diana and I took separate cars. We stayed in the actual town, in the sort of off the main street, but the location was up the mountain a bit.
Sort of driving up the mountain roads, and it's very hilly.
And every morning we would come up the mountain.
City driving all the way.
And you could see like the sun starting to come up, and there was like some mist on the grass.
That was probably the scariest thing about the shoot for me.
It was gorgeous. So we'd both just stop, and like she might have taken a few pictures. I know I took some.
Here are the keys. Please drive the truck, and while you're driving the truck, talk. It's you can pat your head and rub your belly. It's kind of it's a little bit like that.
We shot the bulk of the film in like 5 or 6 days. It was an amazing experience as an actor to work so intensely, to work with one other actor, well, work so closely with 2 other actors, but really small cast. We had long hours. It was a wonderful experience.
I broke the gun during the big gun scene. It stopped being able to fire. I couldn't cock it. We did the shot so many times because I was having trouble. By the time we actually got to it, I was having so much trouble, and then we broke it.
There were a lot of things I liked about working with Steve, but one of the main things that I liked was that we could collaborate. And so, since he was also the writer, Steve was really open to ideas, and it was really collaborative, which was wonderful. So he knew where he wanted to take it, but he'd say, you know what, here's the direction I'd like for you to go in, but you can put your own spin on it. And if you want to go a little bit in this direction, as long as you're still going here, it's okay.
There's a lot of discussion throughout the rehearsal process of even very specific moments throughout the piece. It was just great working with Stephen. He's incredibly supportive, especially on set for such an emotionally draining shoot, that the environment that he created allowed me and Allie to feel vulnerable, to go there in those moments and not feel judged or pressured or questioned or hurried through it. And I think that the end result shows those moments that he allowed us to get to. Biggest benefit was actually shooting in order, which is like unheard of.
Yeah.
But for something that's so deep and specific, and where there are no scene breaks, really, other than going outside or the stuff that takes place in reality, like in the car. It's all just continuous.
Well, here's the funny thing, and I don't, well, the creature part I think is always there. She's just not showing it. That was one of the things I loved about this character, is this monster is there, whether it's you can see it or not. It's an interesting thing to ponder what would lead someone to be willing to kill themselves. I can't say it's an easy thought process, but I think that I understood it. It's the whole sort of depth of what would you do out of guilt, what would you do for your child, are the kinds of questions that I feel like there is no limit. We've all put so much work into it to see that other people are appreciating it. It's really gratifying to see that. And this is a project that I'm really proud of. It's really well done. And it's very satisfying to me as an ending to that aspect of the storyline. And then, of course, we're back in real time in the car. And then you choose from there.
Chloe is probably, you know, her school teacher, and that's where that face came from, kind of a thing. That's my take. That there is no devil. The devil is my little demon within. I know that Allie doesn't agree with me, but she's wrong.
I'm not done with either of them. I mean, both are, we left in a place where there's more to explore in the relationship. There's a lot of new events that could take place that could continue what we've already built. So yeah, I think a sequel could be really interesting.